Hey, what is going on, comic book familia? This is Ephraim, Passpoint Comics, and this is a live show. I know what you're thinking. I don't go live that often. I do go live, but I'm usually on Triple G's channel. So I've been on his channel so many times going live. I said, you know what? I should start going more and more live on my channel. Then I started thinking, what time should I start this? I live in California, and it's in the morning here. And usually when I do videos with Triple G and everybody else over there, it's in the evening. So should I start in the morning my time, which I've gotten used to, or should I do it later on in the evening my time, which would be about 9 hours from now? So for now, I'm just going to do this show in the morning because I'm so used to being on YouTube live in the morning with Triple G. And thanks, Triple G, for getting me used to doing morning shows, my time here. So this segment is called What You've Been Reading. Basically, these are books that come out for New Comic Book Day, which is every Wednesday. And these books are coming out in 2 days. And I usually pick between 5 to 10 books that have grabbed my interest and see if you like them also. Anybody that's here, and we do have one person, and I thank you, Triple G. Thanks, man. Like I said, I'm doing these early in the morning because of you, early in the morning my time. So I'm so used to being on YouTube in the morning here. So that's why I started doing this. And like I said, I just picked between 5 to 10 books that have piqued my interest and that I plan to read when they come out on New Comic Book Day, which is Wednesday. To me, New Comic Book Day, since I was a kid, it's like Christmas every week because I enjoy reading comic books so much. So without much further ado, here we go. So this segment, is called What You've Been Reading. And like I said, these are books that are just be coming out on Wednesday. And it can go anywhere from Marvel, DC, indie books, any book that piqued my curiosity, I'm going to read. And the first one is, I've been loving this series, is Batman, Superman, World's Finest. It's not in continuity with all the DC books that are right now. This is like, they say it's about some years back and it has no continuity at all, but it's a great title. And I've been reading it from the beginning. This is issue 16 already. This is called Elementary, Chapter 4, Overdrive. Batman and Superman versus machines, AI villains and heroes. Shaggy Man, G.I. Robot, Red Tornado, and Chemo, among them, have launched a global cyber attack alongside Numazo soldiers. These titles, man, what do they think of these names? Numazo soldiers. Batman, Superman, Robin, and Metamorpho, the Element Man, are unprepared for the onslaught with millions of lives on the line. The world's finest team must find a way to pull the plug before it's too late. Like I said, I just really enjoy reading this book because it doesn't have a DC continuity. They can go do any kind of stories they want. It's very enjoyable. Next up, we have Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Carnage Reigns, Part 6 of 7. Cletus Cassidy's unleash maximum carnage upon NYC and the awesome power of his new Extreme Biot. And the only one left to stand in his way is Miles Morales, who may have stumbled upon Cletus's one weakness, which means Cletus will stop at nothing to put Miles down for good. I've been reading Miles Morales. I'm always going to read Miles Morales. I'm a Marvel guy when I first started reading comic books as a kid. And to this day, I still read Marvel books, even though some are very good and some are very bad. I've said on other broadcasts, some of these superhero characters, they've been around for over 60 years. So to me, it's very difficult to keep on writing new storylines for characters. I mean, granted, Miles Morales has been around for about 10 years now, but still 10 years, is a long time to keep on coming up with fresh ideas. Next up that I'm looking forward to rereading is Ultimate Invasion. This one piqued my curiosity. The Ultimate Universe debuted in the 2000s, early 2000s, and the main character that really came out from this was Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and they're back. And I'm just curious to see what's going to happen with this. Basically, it says the transformation of the Marvel Universe begins. Creators Jonathan Hickman and Brian Hitch team up. The Illuminati must form once again to stop the Maker from his plans to destroy or perhaps rebuild the universe with Miles Morales at the center of it all. Will a new character emerge that has become as popular as Miles Morales? Like I said, this book has piqued my curiosity, and I got some more comments from Peter here. Let's see what this one says. Miles' book at the moment suffers from the forced crossover, sadly. Yeah, I mean, some books, it's hard, to keep the continuity and to keep books fresh and exciting to read. And there are times when books are very hard to read, and I do put them down. Sometimes I don't read them. And there's the one book at the end. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. Next up, we have Hallows' Eve. This character first debuted, well, she debuted a while ago with Ben Reilly's book, I believe back in Spider-Man days, but years and years ago. But her powers are recent. Her name is Janine Goodbees, and she got her powers when there was an X-Men Spider-Man crossover. Madeline Pryor, who was the clone of Jean Grey, she became the Queen of Hell, and she gave Janine Goodby her powers. Basically, any mask she puts on, she becomes that character. If she puts on a werewolf mask, she becomes a werewolf. She puts on a vampire, she becomes a vampire. And during a time when she put on a werewolf's mask, she bit somebody and that person became a werewolf. So this has been a great read. I hope they continue this series. This character is very, very, I really have enjoyed this character's portrayal so far. I think she's got great powers. If she gets her hold of new mask, she can basically become anything she wants to, man. It's a good read. I highly recommend it. Next up, this cover just grabbed my attention. It's by Source Point Press. This is Murder by Mail. You see a deceased body lying on the ground there, and there's all these like notes of what happened with this person. It says, you're a private investigator working for illicit investigations in Cleaver County, and your first client just brought you a case you will never forget. In Murder by Mail, a fully interactive role-playing experience. That's what grabbed my attention. I was like, wow, fully interactive role-playing experience. What does that exactly mean in a comic book? So this book, like I said, all these books are coming out Wednesday, and I'm really curious how this book is going to read. It says, you are presented with evidence from an unsolved murder case, and through the favors you call in, the interviews you conduct, and your own wits and attention to detail, you can discover the identity of the killer and put the case to rest. This looks like an interactive comic book. This one has really piqued my curiosity. Yeah, Peter, I just looked at this. I went, wow, how is this book going to go? So this book, I can't wait to read and see how it is. If the title is intriguing. So, I'm going to read it for sure. See how it goes. Next up, we have Joseph 1957. This is by Comics Experience Publishing. I've said this before in the past. When I was growing up, 99% of the books I would read were Marvel books and a few DC every now and then. But I've gotten older. These indie books have really grabbed my attention because they're basically fresh stories. There's no decades and decades of, a person's superhero's history. So indie books, really grab my attention. Once again, this is called Joseph 1957, debuting the work of Italian superstar artist Fabiano Ambu. You know about Laika, the cosmonaut dog sent into orbit on Sputnik 2, but no one knows about Joseph, the first gorilla in space. Born on Joseph Stalin's birthday and subjected to terrible genetic experiments, Joseph soon grew far too powerful. The leadership of the Soviet Union did all they could do to stop him, but not everything went as planned. So this is going to be a pissed off gorilla that's probably coming back to Earth and is going to wreak havoc. I really want to read this book, and hopefully it's a good read. Another indie book. This is by Black Mass Studios, Destiny, New York, Mystic Mafia #1. Lilith Aberdeen is the last surviving daughter of a mystical crime family. She has spent her whole life running from her past, but now those old demons are finally catching up to her. She thought she was meant to be the former prophecy girl, Logan McBride, but life has pulled them apart. Now with Lilith in New York and Logan in California, will destiny reunite them or drive them further apart? I gotta admit, when I seen this cover, I went, this looks interesting. And yeah, we'll see how it is. This is The Mystic Mafia. Great title. Next up, this is an Archie Comics book. But I looked at it and I went, okay, what kind of Archie book is this? This is called Camp Pickens. Has always been the go-to summer destination for the younger residents of Riverdale. It is a rite of passage for the teen residents to hold the coveted camp counselor positions. However, Camp Pickens' mysterious past shrouds a deep, dark secret. It's cursed, and this summer, all of its campers are going to find out the hard way in this one-shot anthology that's equal parts Sleepaway Camp and American Horror Story 1984. I'm going to read this book. It's just one. It's a one-shot. And yeah, it's this Archie, and his gang going through a rites of passage that looks like a teen slasher book. Next up is by Image Comics. This is a weird looking cover. It's different looking cover, I should say. So grab my attention. It's from Image Comics, The Bone Orchid Mythics, Tenement #1. In this extra length first issue, Jeff Lemire and Andrea Sorrentino bring you the story of 7 residents in a building and the dark secrets that bind them together, beginning with a death that feels much more sinister than natural. I love reading scary books. I really enjoy it, but if you ever see my videos with Peter, I don't like seeing scary movies. They just scare me too much. But reading a book, for me, it's different. And I'm looking forward to reading this book. And it's by Jeff Lemire. He's a really good writer. He was introduced to me by Peter. He's been reading his books and he's been talking about him. So yeah, I'm going to give this book a try. Next up, I've been reading this book from the beginning. Yes, Peter knows me too well. He says, now I won't sleep well if you read that. Yeah, when I read a book, to me, it's different than watching a movie for some reason. I watch a movie and it scares me. And basically because I'm by myself when I watch a scary movie, so that scares me even more. But reading a book to me is just different. This next book I've been reading from the beginning. It's another Image book. It's Kaya in the Poison Lands, Chapter 3. Kaya's magic arm is gone, and she is separated from her allies in the vast Poison Lands. Jin, which is her brother, nearly drowned, enters a strange, delirious nightmare he may not be able to return from. This has been a very good read. I really recommend it, and it's by Wes Craig. This one I'm going to get, and I'm going to read it. It's Edge of Spider-Verse. I know there have been so many Into the Spider-Verse books throughout the years, but the reason I picked this book that I'm going to read, one, it says after her debut in Miles Morales' Spider-Man, Miles' sister Billy Morales' alter ego is still needed in the Empire of the Spider. Plus, this character was introduced a few months ago, Spider-Boy, and it's going to have the secret origin of the Spider character is going to be told here. Maybe they may show who he actually is. So that one has piqued my curiosity. This is my last book. And I do read Marvel books and I like reading them. And even though, they're like rebooted and they start off at #1 again, I must admit the previous iteration of the Hulk book, the one right before this, I stopped reading because to me, it was just a bad storyline. It was confusing. Hulk was some kind of spaceship and parts of his personality were controlling parts of the spaceship. It just got convoluted for me. So I did put down that book and I didn't read it. It just bothered me that much that, they did that to the Hulk, like him being a spaceship. I'm like, what the heck is going on with this storyline? So that is one book that I walked away from, but they rebooted it and they're going to start with a #1. So I am going to read it and hopefully it's a good storyline. It says the age of monsters has begun as an enraged Hulk tries to take control of Bruce Banner's body permanently. A mysterious immortal turns every monster in the Marvel universe against Banner and attempt to free their creator, the primordial mother of horrors. People write this stuff, sometimes I really have to read it really slow, but some of the words, are very long. And but yeah, I hope this is a good storyline. I've stated, the Hulk has been around for over 60 years. So I imagine it is very difficult to come up with new storylines for books, year after year, decades after decades. So I hope this book, is a good read, and I won't put it down after just one issue. So like I said, this segment is just books that I am looking forward to be reading. A new comic book day, which is Wednesday. This is the main reason I got into comic books, is to read them. I really enjoy reading them, and I've been reading them since I was like 10 years old, and it hasn't lost that spark in me. I'm always saying comic books are in my DNA, and this is the main reason why. So obviously I'm live, and at 11:15 my time, my friend Triple G Comics Peter is going to have a video, a live show with James. They're going to talk about IG-11. And then after that, at 12 o'clock, I'm going to be back, but I'm going to be on Peter's channel. And we're going to be talking about comedies that we enjoy. We're each going to be picking 3 comedies, movies that we enjoyed, and one that we didn't think was a good movie. So that's coming up, and I'll be back, like I said, and at 12 o'clock, but I'm going to be over on Peter's channel. Until next time, everybody be safe, take care, and go read a comic book.